Well, hello, Pittsburgh, and welcome to Pride Matters, where we bring you issues of concern and interest to the Pittsburgh queer community. If you're a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and yes, even an ally, then you will find this program not only to be informative, but entertaining as well. My name is Jeff Friedman, and we bring you this podcast from our lovely studio here in beautiful downtown Pittsburgh. On today's episode, get ready for an incredible show. We're thrilled to welcome Joey Young, the drag phenomenon who's been captivating Pittsburgh audiences with a unique artistry and undeniable charisma. Fresh off their crowning as Miss Continental Newcomer 2025, Joey just isn't a performer. They're an icon in the making, known for their powerful live vocals, stunning looks, and magnetic stage presence. Today, Joey's going to give us an exclusive look into Pittsburgh's vibrant drag scene, past, present, and future. You won't want to miss their insights and stories. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Brianna here with Brianna's Mobile Workshop, Pittsburgh's premier queer contractors, bringing our safe space to yours. Some of the projects we have done are kitchen remodels, doors and awnings, retainment walls and French drains, hardwood floor finishing, additions, decks, and bathroom remodels, and more. We do anything residential and some commercial work, interior and exterior work, and we do all of Allegheny County and bordering counties. So if you're looking at getting the consultation done, feel free to scan the QR code. And even if you're not ready right now, go ahead and just save that to your contacts. Till next time.
All right, and we're back here on the Q-Bird podcast, Pride Matters, with a very, very special guest, Joey Young.
Hi, how are you?
Well, welcome to Q-Bird podcast, Pride Matters.
I have been waiting for this.
Well, I've been waiting for you to come on.
Anytime you want me. Anytime you want me, I'm here.
Well, Joey is fabulous, incredible, talented performer, and we're way excited to hear your background story. So who is Joey Young and how did Joey Young get started? You're a Pittsburgher.
Yes, I'm a Pittsburgher. And even more specifically, I'm from McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
Lovely.
So I was born and raised in McKeesport. I'm 23 years old. I turned 24 later this year. Yes.
Oh, good.
But yeah, so my birth name is Joseph Young.
Okay.
And my name, my whole life has always been Joey, like nickname. So I've been performing under that name for, my God, years, like over a decade. But I started in musical theater and a community theater, McKeesport Little Theater. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, shout out.
And I did that for 11 years. And then throughout that time, I did choral singing for 7 years from middle school through high school. I started writing and recording music from 16 up and performing as a solo musician.
Wow.
From 15 up until this day. So just a little under 10 years of
wow.
performing.
How many kids in the family?
In the drag family.
Oh. No, in your family.
Oh my gosh. Okay, see, we're already jumping. I'm already jumping to drag.
I know.
How many kids? Okay, so I'm the baby.
You're the baby of the family.
Of 3.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
Baby of 3. I have an older sister who's 31,
nice.
and a older brother who's turning 29.
And very supportive. Your family.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, they you know, just like any family, it's an adjustment period. I mean, you're becoming. You're seeing your kid become something that you may not necessarily know how to work with because you don't have that experience. But my family has always seen who I was deep within and how much love I have to share. So they really are incredible and they're so supportive of me.
Good. So so you basically grew up in theater.
Yes.
And so tell me how this your drag persona came about.
Okay, so my drag persona came through me performing. So I did musical theater, always was very theatrical, always inspired by like a lot of like female pop artists like Mariah Carey, Lady Gaga, like a lot of people like that. So it's very diva, it's very over the top. And that was where like my music kind of came in. And then as I grew, because simultaneously I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race, I was learning about Miss Continental, and I was watching it, and my persona kind of grew as I became part of the Pittsburgh scene, because I started performing at 19 just as a singer-songwriter, like a queer singer-songwriter. And I slowly, as time went on, grew into the drag performer I was, because you could see that I was almost there, but not quite. I used to call it diet drag. It was like diet drag because it was like I would be wearing barely any makeup, and everyone's like, oh, she's a baby queen. And I was like, no, I'm like doing my own thing, and I always have done my own thing, but I grew into myself through becoming part of like the Pittsburgh drag community and seeing like, this is my family, you
Right.
know, becoming with them.
We find our family.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how they find us.
Yes.
Right? So what about your first performance, though? Do you remember that? Where,
Yes.
when, how?
Okay, so my first performance, like in the Pittsburgh queer scene, I was 19 years old
19.
at a venue in the city.
Okay.
And,
Under 21.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty,
Absolutely.
alrighty.
And I performed my first dance pop song I made called Scorpio, and I had this. Well, you know, I'll save some of the details, but I had a knife velcroed to my back because there's a lyric in the sign called in the song, "You hide behind the light so they can't see your weapon," and I pulled it out of my back because I had this whole concept of for that song. The era was me in red latex, full red head to toe, which we've seen in the Pride Parade, and these like buns, and my whole concept there was to personify what had been told to me in my life was like the worst parts of me, and that's what was the Scorpio visual. And I had like a knife, and it was this whole thing that in hindsight I've seen my growth. I've seen it, you know, looking back, but I love it. And that performance was so special to me because I was surrounded with so many amazing queer people that then ended up becoming my family.
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
I look back on it fondly, but there's definitely some things I would have done differently.
Well, you know what? We
Time
all
went on.
grow.
Yes.
You got to start somewhere.
You have to.
And you thought you were pretty hot that night, didn't you?
Oh, I absolutely,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
won.
yeah.
I did. It
Oh,
was like
congratulations.
It was a competition. It was
Right.
like a weekly competition or monthly, and I did win that week.
Right.
So
right,
it was,
right.
it went well for the time, but I would you know.
No.
Do a
You
little
were
differently.
fabulous. You were
Yes.
great, and it brought you here.
Yeah, it brought me here.
It brought you here.
It brought me here
So,
to Q-Burg, and that's
do it.
really all that matters to me.
Right. So let's talk about this whole pageant. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh scene, Pittsburgh drag scene, right?
Yes.
Let's face it, it's had phenomenal growth here in
Absolutely.
the past couple of years, thanks to a lot of high profile performers. You being one of them, by the way, local.
you.
So tell us about your relationship with Lydia.
Oh my God. Okay, so Lydia B Kollins, one of the only people
Butthole.
Butthole, one of the
Butthole
only
Kollins.
people to ever exist, is like a little joke that we have. She is one of my closest sisters in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
We met. I was I was judging an open stage that she was performing in 2.5 years ago or so, and we just instantly became friends, and we did shows together after that. And you know, she had gotten the call to go on RuPaul's Drag Race season 17,
Right.
And not too later after that, she was talking to me about saying, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna be gone, whatever. I've, you know, obviously you can't say too much, but just I'm gonna be gone." And I was like, "What do you need?" You know, because it was unspoken, but I kind of knew. So I went to her house with like 4 garment bags and suitcases and hair and jewelry and accessories, and she used a lot of it. She actually, like the lip sync for Boogie Wonderland, she wore my bodysuit,
Oh, nice.
which was made by Victoria Vixen, a local drag performer here. And yeah, so she used that. And then when she went back to All Stars, she used all of my things again, like anything that she hadn't used already. And we just became like the best of friends.
Nice.
And she's truly is one of the most incredible people in the queer scene in Pittsburgh, and just in general. She has such a kind heart, and I was so happy because I had at that time been doing work with Brian David, the local Pittsburgh designer.
Who's incredible, by the way.
He is. I'm wearing him
Absolutely.
today.
Look at
This
that.
is a Brian
Who are
David
you
dress.
wearing?
Brian David.
There you go.
Always wearing Brian David.
Yeah.
They like say like Cher is like Bob Mackey's like
Right.
Mackie doll. I'm like a David doll. Like
Oh,
I'm
nice.
a Brian David. Oh, the biggest Brian David enthusiast. But he at that time I had walked for him in a fashion show, and after that September Pittsburgh Fashion Week, he was walking again, and he asked me to do it, and I connected him with Lydia, and then throughout that, him and Lydia started working together, and he made her promo look for All Stars 10 and runways that she wore on All Stars. Actually, last week he made that runway. It was Tear My Suit, which was a play on words for Tear My Suit.
Yes.
So he made this like sculptured thing, and I helped work on a lot of it with her and him, and he's just absolutely incredible. He did my entire Continental Newcomer package as well as my Blue Moon package.
Nice,
So
nice.
we've won 2 pageants together.
All right.
So I'm very fortunate.
So let's talk about Joey and your pageants.
Absolutely.
The first pageant was
P-Town Pride.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
P-Town Pride. So it was the second year they did it.
Okay.
And I won that pageant. I think they told me it was maybe like a point or two.
Wow.
It was really, really close. But yeah, it was my first time doing anything in pageantry. And I've always been like a good speaker. Like I've always known how to communicate how I'm feeling and share that. So I knew that a pageant was going to be great because so much about it is sharing who you are and being authentic. Like that is what pageantry is just being yourself and having a knowledge of the system as it is. So P-Town Pride was my first pageant that I had done, and I had won that. And then after that, I had did Mix Ohio Gay Pride, which was, it was actually, I know a lot of people don't know that.
I did not know this.
Yes. So I had did that pageant, it was like a gender neutral title at the beginning of last January. And I was first alternate. And it was my first time ever doing like a state pageant. And then following that, a year later, I did the Blue Moon pageant this January.
Right.
That I had won.
Right.
And I had amazing.
Love the outfits, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, Brian David.
Oh,
Brian
there we
David,
go,
and then
right.
Lydia actually for my blue look, because you have to do a blue look for the Blue Moon pageant as like a presentation. We recreated Lydia's promo look, so she made it, and it was like incredible. But yeah, so then I did that, and I won that pageant, and then I did Miss Continental Newcomer this April, and I won that.
So let's talk about this Miss Continental pageant.
Yes.
It's huge, by the way. I remember it as a young kid. This is like 1981, 1982, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1982. And we went to Chicago to play softball. And there was a bar there called the Baton, which is a famous drag bar. Iconic.
Right?
That was my very first kind of really good drag, right?
Yeah.
It's professional drag, right? And that's the first I had heard about this Miss Continental pageant, that it is nationwide. I mean, there are international, right? Yeah. And it is, now it's thousands of contestants that come in and funnel in, right?
Yeah. So they have done, like, over the years, we've had thousands of contestants that have competed for Continental. And it truthfully is known as the most prestigious drag pageant in the world.
Right.
Like, in the world, it is absolutely incredible.
Right. It's solid. It's been around forever.
Yeah,
so
this is the 45th anniversary.
So how did you get involved in it? Where was this first preliminary? And you went to Miss Newcomer, right?
Yes, yeah. So I first found out about Continental just like as any queer person does through like videos online and through drag people in my life telling me, oh, Miss Continental. Like, it is as prestigious as they say online. And it has such a reputation because of Jim Flint, the creator of Miss Continental, and the system that is created from him and all of the people who work as a part of it. It really is incredible. So as I grew up, I was watching videos of it, and I knew at the time of some of the RuPaul's Drag Race queens that had competed. So I obviously knew of Sasha Colby, who won in 2012, Naysha Lopez, Brooklyn Heights, and those were some of like the people who had been on like national television who were on Continental and that were former Continentals, as well as like a lot of other icons from the system, Maya Douglas, Dana Douglas. There's just so many, Chantel DeMarco. So I was so fortunate to know of it from that. And a year and a half ago, I had met the first newcomer, Dominique. She won in 2023. And we were doing a show together in Pittsburgh, and she said, like, I think you'd be great. You should compete. And then I had a year and some change later, I had gone and I competed for the title.
Right.
Yeah. And I won.
And you won. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
So I know that there's videos out there. You have got to see Joey's performance at this. It was absolutely incredible. So kudos. Well-deserved win.
Thank you.
And we have your crown and your sash.
This is the Miss Continental Newcomer crown made by Fierce Jewels.
Nice.
I love it. The same people that make the RuPaul's Drag Race crowns do this lovely thing. And the way that it glimmers in the light just makes me crazy. I love it so much.
I do. Well, it is well deserved.
Thank you.
So, and then you have something else coming up, right?
Yes. So because I won the newcomer title, I then had the option to compete for the main Miss Continental title this September. Okay. So I am going to be competing for the Miss Continental title, and will be the first newcomer to compete at the national level, because the newcomer title is a national title, but I will be competing for the main Miss Continental.
Right. Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So you're having what are the categories here that you need to do?
Okay, so when you go to Continental, when you compete, the first category that you do is presentation, and it's a white look. It's a non-judge category, but you go out there and you show something that is white in your outfit. Then you do swimwear, which is where an outfit where you show what would you wear a day at the beach, day at the pool, and it's a really great category. I love swim because it's where you get to really just be yourself and have like a fun time. So swimwear, then you do your talent. So you do like a 5-minute number and whatever it is, whether you dance or you sing, and however you do that, you do your evening gown. And then if you make it to the top 5, you do question and answer. But you do 2 nights of this. So they have all
it's spread out.
Yeah. So you do all the contestants compete the first night, which is known as the preliminary night. And then the next night, the top 12 get called out from those, and then they compete to do the main title. So it's 2 days of pageants that are huge. It is incredible.
And exhausting, I bet.
Yes. But I'm built for it.
But it's the adrenaline.
Yes. Well,
it's adrenaline.
And I'm built for it because that's, for me, I've studied Continental. I've loved it. I've been such a huge fan of it. And I have always been somebody that a lot of like drag family friends of mine, they're like, you do drag like every day is a pageant. Like before Continental, I was like working, really, really hard. And I would have like 5, 6, 7, 8 show weekends. And I would travel a lot because I started before drag, I was touring in the Pride circuit. So I was from 19, I was doing like Prides in Miami and Hollywood, Florida and California, and just traveling from state to state. And, obviously fortunately found Continental and within my journey. So I've always been prepared to give it my all and put my best foot forward. So that's why I think that for me, Continental is it's my new home.
Aw, that's great. That's great. So let's talk about this, the pageants, right? Yes. Let's give some advice.
Okay.
To someone that might be interested in becoming into the pageant scene or entering Blue Moon or Miss Town. What advice would you give them?
So my advice that I would give to anybody that wants to compete in a pageant, I'll do 2. So I'll do one for competing in pageants in Pittsburgh and one for Continental, because they're very different.
Correct.
But they function very similarly. So if you want to compete in a pageant in Pittsburgh, like Blue Moon or P-Town, the most important thing, and this goes for both, is to know what you are competing for and to learn from the performers. The biggest thing that you can do in your journey, especially when it comes to doing pageants, is finding the people who came before you and learning about what they did, not just to win, but what did they do in their reign that made them, even more iconic of a performer, because it takes a very strong performer to win a pageant, but it takes an even stronger performer to increase the visibility to the title that they're bringing and that they're reigning in during their reign, because you have an entire year to represent Continental or Blue Moon, and it's all about what you do in that time. So that's a piece of advice that I would give to them. But more than anything, I would say be authentic. See what you have to offer and bring that to the table, because for me, I'm currently double reigning. So I'm reigning as Miss Blue Moon and I'm reigning as Miss Continental Newcomer. And I think the thing that I knew, because, some people could say, well, how can you run for one over the other or reign at the same time? And for me, it's about being dedicated to both things. Like I do drag full time. So for me, it's about dedicating equally my time from Continental and Blue Moon and representing both of those spaces. So I think it's a great opportunity. Doing pageants, it gives you a lot of space and room to grow and see where your future is. Right.
And there's a lot of great drag queens now out in the sea, out there right now, right?
Yeah.
So can we just talk about your drag family?
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. So
let's define drag family first.
Okay, define drag family.
Yeah.
So it's unique because I think a lot of people have a different take on it. For me, I view drag family as the people that you keep the closest to you, like your drag children or like drag sisters or people that I don't necessarily have to have a mother that we connect to, but it's somebody that I'm close with. So like Lydia B Kollins is my drag sister, and we share 2 sets of drag kids. So like my drag kids are like hers and vice versa. So a part of my drag family, Anemia Blunt is my drag daughter. LA Gaga, she's from Allentown, and Prima Donna Young is a younger performer as well. Those are like 3 of my personal drag kids. And then Gwen and Zelda Collins are both like drag kids to me. But outside of them, I feel like the whole Pittsburgh scene is like a drag family.
Right.
I feel like I'm like the older sister and sometimes like the mother that like looks after everybody.
Aw, that's great.
Yeah.
But it is, because like I know I'm part of a drag family, which I absolutely adore and love. I got kids, right? And you feel like they're your own kids.
Absolutely.
And this goes even beyond drag.
Yeah.
Right? It's life.
It is.
It is.
Because I call Anemia just about every single day, and we talk about any and everything, things that have nothing to do with drag and things that have everything to do with drag.
Right.
Because outside of anything, these people are friends.
Right.
And they're people who, they're your chosen family. So that's even more important than anything,
Chosen family is, yep. The people who love us.
Yes.
For us.
And they put up with me. When I asked to help Rhinestone, lots of outfits, whether it be for Continental or anything.
Right. They are there.
Oh, they do. And I make sure I buy them food and drinks and such.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
So like tell us a little bit more. Like you picked Joey Young as your drag name, right?
Yes.
Just because didn't want to go with another name, or what was?
Yeah, honestly, and I was performing as Joey Young for so long, and I had already gained a reputation for who I was as a performer up until that point. And I think the thing that meant the most to me, especially because like when we say what is the one thing in pageants or drag that is most important, it's authenticity.
Exactly.
So I knew that for me, Joey Young as a performer was not necessarily creating a character, but it was being myself in a more, elevated level. So I didn't think I needed to choose a different name because I'd already built that within myself.
Right.
That's the unique perspective that I bring to drag is being, I don't necessarily have a character that I personify myself through, but I am the character. It is like a hyper realized version of myself. So
right. Yeah.
That's why Joey Young felt right.
And Joey's growing.
Yes, Joey is growing, and I feel so fortunate for that. Not only like I've been fortunate to grow in Pittsburgh and now in Chicago at the Baton and with the Continental family.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel very fortunate, like with just the way that my journey has shown itself and the people who've helped mold that. Because I think a lot of people have seen me go in many different directions, but I feel like I'm on like the perfect path to. My future.
Miss Young, you're going places, right?
Yes.
You are going places.
Yes.
I just felt, I know the first moment I saw you, I think, I forget where it was a benefit for thing. I remember going up to you and saying, you got it. And you do. She has it. Trust me, she has it. And she's worked hard. She's worked very, very hard.
Thank you. I tried
to.
Yeah.
Because I love it.
Because I think for me, like when it comes to the hard work, whether it is competing or whether it is representing or anything, there is a life after every single thing that you do,
right.
Whether it's compete or whatever you do in life. And it's all about building a strong foundation for the people who are coming after you. I really hope that my journey as Miss Continental Newcomer, as Miss Blue Moon, I hope that opens doors for a lot of these younger kids coming up, whether it be in Pittsburgh or in Chicago or across the world who want to be representative but don't necessarily know if they're old enough or if they're experienced enough. You are you are as experienced as the effort that you put in.
That's
and
right.
I put in that effort to acquire that expertise, and I'm hoping that helps build something for these people that are coming after me.
It is. You're an excellent role model, excellent example.
Thank you.
So what's next for Joey Young? Where are you going to be? What's happening?
So we have a benefit at Blue Moon Bar, my home bar. We are going to be doing From Pittsburgh to Chicago, which will be a benefit show for me competing at Miss Continental. So that'll be on July 26th at 11 p.m.
Okay.
It is 21 plus, and I'm very strict about that. So I'll be doing that. You're very strict about that, especially.
Right.
I really am.
Yeah.
But so we'll be doing that, and I have a few other brunch shows and things in here and there coming up. And then at the end of August, I will be in Chicago competing to become Miss Continental.
Nice. So how do people get it? You have a website? Instagram?
Yes. So if you look up It's Joey Young on Instagram, you can find everything. I'm primarily on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. If you look up www.joeyyoungofficial.com, I believe that's my link tree. So you look up in my link tree, you can find everything. You can find me everywhere. I really am visible in as many places as I can be.
You are visible, and that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Joey, for being here. I'm just all gobsmacked about you. Still am very, very excited and can't wait to see the future Joey Young. It's going to be wonderful.
And I can't wait to see it through Q-Berg as well, because we all, and this goes out to everybody, where's my camera? I did this whole thing. I know, just like, where's my camera? Please make sure that you are following and supporting Q-Berg, because they do such amazing work in the community. I've been so fortunate to be a part of that. And every time I see my face on a Q-Berg post, I'm like, oh, little Joey from McKeesport is just eating it up. You know, I love it.
Well, thank you for that very, very much.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being here, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So thank you, Pittsburgh, once again for another issue of Pride Matters. Stay proud, Pittsburgh.